This is GabNet, the Great American Broadcast Network, now in its 8th year of talk like you've never heard it before.
I sing, I dance, I'm Alex, and this is the Ramble, and we go until midnight tonight from the East Coast of the United States. Look at that somber look with that somber hat, that somber grin. Oh, now smiling. Now he's hey, that's Steve Kravitz, ladies and gentlemen, or Stephen Kravitz, actually. You prefer Stephen or Steve?
Stephen.
So if I were to just talk to you as a friend, hey, Stephen.
Right.
You would prefer that over Steve.
Right.
But I have called you Steve, haven't I?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, okay. From here on in, Stephen, it is. You know, it's like my name, original name is Bennett Schwarzman. Still my name actually, and people would. Bennett is not a normal name, okay?
Right.
And so my mother would always refer to me as well, to begin with, I was Bolo when I was a child.
Oh, really?
That was my nickname that was given to me by my parents because my father's brother, who died when he was 21, was named Boleslav. And there's always a tradition, as you know, in Jewish families of naming your child after a dead relative, which is a really nice, morbid thing to strap your kid with, right?
Well, you use the first letter of the deceased name, and I'm named after my great-grandfather Samuel. So
Okay.
they take the S and it becomes Stephen.
Oh, okay. Well, in this case, they didn't want to strap me with the name Boleslav.
Right.
Or Boleslav, yeah. So they nicknamed me Bolo, but they named me Bennett Gordon Schwarzman. Okay.
Right.
And so I had Bennett as my first name. So everywhere I would go, my mother, as I grew up, my mother would start, I'd say, don't call me Bennett. I mean, don't call me Bolo anymore. I don't want to be called Bolo. That's a child's name, right? So my mother started calling me Ben.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and other people will then look, oh, you're Ben. Oh, what is that, short for Benjamin? Or the one I loved was, because there is no such name, Bernard.
Bernard?
Bernard, yeah. And the thing was, it was Bennett. So I preferred being called. So what happened was, then I changed the name to Alex Bennett.
Right.
All right?
Where'd you come up with the name Alex?
Alex is my father's name.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so it was in tribute to him. I had used for years, I was using the name Jerry Bennett. A big Jerry Lewis fan when I was younger. And,
really?
And then I went to Houston and I had to change my name.
Why is that?
Well, they wanted to change my name. Oh, I know what it was. I had been Jerry Bennett. Then I became James Bond in Houston. Because they wanted a guy to be James Bond in the morning. They used the name James Bond. Those were the days when estates didn't sue.
Right.
And so I did that for a couple of years, and that was a big hit. And I said, but I knew it wasn't going to last forever. Plus, I had to do it with a British accent.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I spent and I couldn't tell anybody I wasn't British. So even my friends, I had to have a British accent around them. The only time I didn't have an accent was when I came home to my wife.
Let's hear your accent.
I can't even do it anymore. I mean, it was very subtle. It was something like this, something very, very subtle. Nothing over. I didn't want to overdo it, otherwise it would sound phony.
Right.
Right? In fact, they had a James Bond in Dallas as well. And he was British. And he was always accused of not being British and being a phony, and I was never accused of it.
Oh, really? Good for you.
So as time went on, I realized, the future was not in me doing a British accent all the time.
Right.
And plus it was driving me nuts. So slowly I started losing the accent. To a
Okay.
point where I was still James Bond, but I was talking like I'm talking to you right now.
Okay.
And one day somebody calls me and says, "You know, you're losing your British accent just a little." Because in Texas, anything short of "How y'all doing" is British. You know. So I had wasted my time for all those years doing the British accent. But anyway,
Pay the bills.
so at the point, then I said, I'm going to leave unless you give me. They want to do a talk show at night, and I said, I want to do that talk show, and if you don't give it to me, I'm going to leave the station. They said, well, you're too valuable a commodity for us, so okay, you know, but you got to change your name. Obviously, you're not going to go on doing a talk show as James Bond. So I thought about, well, what should I use as my name? And of course, Jerry Bennett was the first thing to come to mind because that's what I was using. And then I said to myself, wait, here's a good opportunity to change it. Okay, but what I know Bennett should be the last name because it's my first name and it's a good last name.
Right, it is.
So I thought about it, and then I said, oh, my father, he had died recently. And I said, my father, Alex Bennett. That sounds fine to me. And from that point on, I was Alex Bennett. So that's how it came to be.
Well, that's how I know you.
Yeah, that's how you know me. You know me as Alex Bennett. You don't know me as James Bond, do you? Or
No.
do you think you do not know me? Oh boy, I can't even. When people ask me, "Can you do the accent?" I can't do it like I did it back then, but I did.
Right.
I did do it. I did a damn good job of it. But
Well, you were committed to it back then.
I was committed to it, and I didn't want it to sound overdone.
Right.
See, that was the main thing. I didn't want it overdone, and so I kept it. You know, I kept it at bay, as it were.
Right.
So how you doing?
I'm doing all right. Still looking for an apartment.
Oh, wait a minute. Now they told you you're going to have to leave?
No, the
In the last episode of Stephen Kravis Looks on Life, you were thinking you're going to get kicked out of your apartment because your apartment house is being sold to somebody else.
right. It was supposed to. The deal was supposed to go through on the 22nd of August, and now it's not going to go through until September. So I have another 30 days to find an apartment.
Well, wait a minute. They can't just kick you out of an apartment you've been in. You know?
No, but they can make it miserable for me.
What? But you don't know that they're even going to do that.
No, I don't know anything. I haven't spoken to them at all.
You know, you're like me. You just think of the worst possible outcome.
Worst case scenario.
Worst case scenario, so that when it happens, you're not surprised.
Right.
Right. But the fact is, they may just say, "Hey, we're the new landlords. I just wanted to meet you and say hello."
Yeah, I bet they're gonna want a lease or something like that. It's just.
They might want.
I need to get out of here.
Why? You don't like it?
I would prefer to be somewhere else.
Why? What's wrong with it? Looks good.
It's cold in the winter and it's hot in the summer.
Well, that's because you don't have an air conditioner.
Right, and I don't have any heat really.
Oh, well, then that's something else. I mean, here in New York, if your landlord, if the temperature goes below 55 degrees, they have to send up the heat. And if they don't, they're in violation of the law.
Right.
They don't,
Right.
because there were too many people in New York City freezing to death, but in your case, I mean, I looked it up. You remember I was going to look up whether what they could do. There is no real rent control on your apartments in Massachusetts.
No.
I would have thought there were more laws like in New York. In New York, there are just, the code for rentals and so on, for landlords is this thick,
Right.
And they basically can't do anything to you unless they go through all kinds of motions.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. I think I read somewhere it takes them an average of at least 2 years to evict somebody, to completely get somebody out of the apartment. And then how much money do they have to pay to do it?
Right. Right.
It's a big expense. But you don't know what's going to happen. But if you want to get out of the apartment, then there's nothing wrong with looking for one.
Right. But everything has a 1-year waiting list on it. Everything I've looked at has a 1-year waiting list.
Really?
Yes.
You told me that
and-
last time, and I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, I'm serious. And you have to fill out like a 30-page pre-application form
Really?
just to get on the waiting list.
Oh, you know what? You know what always happened to me here in New York is you had to give 2 years worth of what do you call it? Income tax returns.
Okay.
And I'm going, I don't want you to see my income. I'm like Trump. I don't want you to see my income tax return.
Right.
You know, who are you? You know. But we would send. So what we said is we would send them the first page where it said, yeah, how much I made, how much I paid in taxes.
Right.
Here's the total. Boom. We didn't send them any of the other stuff, and they were happy with that. So.
Yeah, they should be. What do they need to know your business?
Well, I mean, let's say, for just grins, I've got a terrific income tax return. I made $1 million last year, and I made this in profit. And look at that! Isn't that wonderful? It still doesn't mean I'm not going to stiff you on the rent.
Right. Right.
You know, it doesn't mean that I'm not going to shit on the floors. You know,
I would hope not.
or do things that would ruin the apartment. You know,
Right.
So I mean, it's kind of ridiculous in a way. I don't understand it completely.
Yeah, and these 30-page pre-application forms are just absurd.
I mean, what did they ask you? What could you possibly have 30 pages to fill out?
Same questions over and over again.
Could you do it online?
No.
No,
No.
because you know a good form like that would be online, so that if it is 30 pages, you could just boom, 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 next.
Right. Right.
But here you got to write your name down every time, and
right.
put
Every other page you got to write your name down.
it's interesting. I'm gonna. What did you? It had to ask occupation. Didn't
Right.
it? What did you put down?
I put actor.
Oh, very good. Okay. So you think of yourself probably as an actor first and a comedian second?
Yes.
Okay. And you are an actor. There's no question
Right.
about it. You've been in several films, including The Woman with the Red Dress.
Right, which I got paid for. I never stood in front of the camera.
I think that's so wonderful. You and do you keep does it count towards your pension
Oh, yeah.
after? I mean, at
Oh, yeah.
SAG. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Sure it does.
Yeah, and I guess that was that kind of a union rule that if you were hired, did you sign a contract to do that movie?
Yes, and I'm in the credits.
Yeah, well, what I'm saying is, yeah, I know. If you ever see, it's a movie with, I'm trying to remember who the woman
Gene
was.
Wilder.
Huh?
Gene Wilder.
Gene Wilder, and the woman was...
Gilda Radner.
No. Woman in the red dress. Well, wait a minute. Let me look it up on IMDb. Woman with the red dress. Oh,
No, Woman in Red.
The Woman in Red. That was it. Woman in Red. Okay. Oh, here it is. The woman was Kelly LeBrock.
Oh, okay.
And now it has lists all the people who were in it. So I should look. You're not in the main group, obviously, because But let's see if you're listed here now any longer in IMDb. Let's see here. Larry Gilman, Frank. Here it is. Stephen Kravitz. Do you remember what your part was?
No.
Companion.
Companion to who?
Who knows? I don't know. You were in the movie. I wasn't.
No, I wasn't in the movie.
Yeah, I mean, do you remember the scene you did? You didn't even do a scene.
I didn't do anything. I hung out for 2 days, and then they said I could go home.
And they just said it was all through with, right?
Right.
Right. I'm trying to look. I guess I don't have my soda. Huh. I brought some soda in, I thought, and then I know where it is. It's somewhere else. I'm not going to go get it. I'll go get it during the break. Anyway, so you didn't even. What did you go to work that day? And they just said we got.
I went to work for 2 days.
for 2 days. Sat there in one of those little chairs.
Right.
Yeah. Do you have your name on the back?
No.
No. You were waiting for your big chance. This was going to be your Academy Award performance, right?
Oh, sure.
Right.
Oh, sure it was.
And then they come up to you and they say, "Can we talk to you for a moment?"
Right.
Am I going through this pretty much like they did it?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Steve, we have some. I don't know if they probably presented it to you as bad news.
No, we're just not going to do your scene.
Yeah, we decided to go in a different direction. We're not going to do your scene.
Right. Right.
That's what I've always gotten whenever I've been fired was we're going in a different direction. What's that direction? Away from me and towards somebody else? I think that may be the answer. But in your case, they didn't even hire somebody else. They just did away with the scene.
Right. Right. Exactly.
You know, it kind of seems strange, though. Think about this for a moment. You got paid for it.
Yes.
You probably still every now and then get a residual check.
For like 13 cents.
For 13 cents, but you get a residual check.
Yes.
I still get residual checks from an HBO One Night Stand with Bill Maher
Oh, really?
that I did in the did I do it in the 80s? Maybe the
Must be.
Yeah.
The one night stands were in the 80s.
Yeah. And I still get checks for them. I mean, now they're getting lower and lower, but they, I used to get a couple $100 a year out of those.
Now, what did you do it for the one night stand?
I was the announcer. If people go up over to HBO Max, go for Bill Maher's One Night Stand, you will hear me announcing the show. I did the warm up there. I did a warm up at the
you
show.
Did?
Well, there were how many comics did they do at a clip in a year? I think they did maybe 12.
Something like that.
Yeah, and we did 2 shows a night, in which they would, like, for instance, they do the Bill Maher set, and then they bring on Judy Tenuta.
Right.
Right.
Okay.
Then we turn the audience, get a new audience in there, but they wouldn't change the set, so we did the Judy Tenuta first.
Right.
And then we do the Bill
second.
Maher second, because you have to do a set change. But I did the warm-up, and I kept people entertained before that and during the set change and so on.
Right.
And so they, I don't think I did the voice there then, but the guy who was in charge of the production liked me, and he said, we want you to do the, I know what I did. I did openings for it, and I did them there, but I did them when nobody was even there. I just talked into a mic.
Right.
It's HBO with One Night Stand with Bill Maher. Ladies and gentlemen, Bill Maher. Okay, and I did that, and I did it for every one of them. And I get a call from them, and they say, well, the audio wasn't that great on them, so we're flying you down to L.A.
Right.
And they flew me down to L.A. and put me in a voice booth, and I sat there and did exactly the same thing, and I went home. I wasn't even in San Francisco when that voice was done. So.
See, now I shot, what was it, Black Scorpion, the series, and we had to do some stuff to clean up the voice, and I did it in San Francisco instead of going down to L.A. But then again, that was with Roger Corman, so you can't find a cheaper producer than him.
He made you fly down to L.A., but you had to flap your arms to do it. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I did it up in San Francisco. I went to a studio off of Polk Street.
Yeah. Yeah. But it was a Roger Corman TV series?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he started doing some TV series as time went on.
Yeah, we did 22 episodes.
He kind of had a magic name. Everybody, Roger Corman, the king of...
It's like everybody went through his studios.
Well, you know what it is? Here's what it was all about. Corman, I think to begin with, started as an accountant. So he was always money-oriented. So then he knew how to make movies cheap, and he made them for American International. Made some really great cheapies, to be honest with you.
He made like 400 films, and I think only one lost money.
He's something like that, but you're not going to lose money if you only spent 30 cents on it.
Right.
Okay. So, but that was his theory,
A lot of interns on the set. A lot of interns. A lot of the PAs were interns.
Okay. So anyway, he operated as cheaply as possible, and one of the things he did cheaply is he became kind of a place where directors, or people who wanted to be directors, could go to him and say, I want to direct the movie, and they says, well, I can only pay you 50 cents, and they go, fine. And they go, okay. Right. And then they took the opportunity just to direct. That's
where Ron Howard started.
Ron Howard started with him, okay.
Right.
Martin Scorsese's first film was with Corman.
Is that right?
Yeah, it was called Big Boxcar Bertha. How do I remember that? Boxcar Bertha, first film he did. Francis Ford Coppola, first film he ever did, he did there.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Other people that worked for him, a regular was Jack Nicholson.
That's right.
Who wrote some of his films, some of the films Corman put out, and directed one or two of them.
Right.
So this was a place where people who wanted to be directors could just go and practice it, get their credit as a director.
Right.
So
it was like a school, sort of.
So everybody said, isn't he wonderful? Look at all these people he discovered. No, he took advantage of these people because they would work cheap. And they took advantage of him because they had something to put on their dossier.
Right.
So, I mean, but he was, wasn't that he was great, he was unusual, he was different. And he became a resource.
Right.
And a lot of the big people, Sylvester Stallone started with Corman.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he did, what was that thing, Death Race 2, Death Race. That's what it was called, about a race. You remember the old joke about, every time you can hit somebody with a car, you get so many points? Remember that joke? Right. Well, the movie was based on that. They have a road race between New York, L.A. and New York, or whatever. And you get a point for everybody you kill along the way. And so John Carradine Jr. was in it. Was it David Carradine? Which one was John Carradine Jr. was in it, and Sylvester Stallone was the bad guy. Yeah, yeah. So Stallone started with him as an actor. I mean, so because he was the cheap place in town, it was the place if you were an actor, you could get some work. No matter how cheap it was. I mean, come on, look at where you're living now, and look at how much money you're making working at that really money-making job you've got at Lowe's. If all of a sudden you go to work for Corman and all he wanted to pay you was 50 cents, you'd take it, right?
Oh, in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
In a heartbeat. Yeah.
So really, the reason he became a resource was because, hey, you want to direct the movie? Sure. What time can you get here?
Right. Right.
And a lot of people cut their teeth on Corman, no question about it. But how did you ever get to meet him when you were working on the show?
Yes.
What'd you think of him?
He was kind of bland.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was kind of didn't have much personality.
Yeah. Well, he didn't have to.
Right. I did a bunch of films for Corman.
Really? What else did you do for Corman?
I think I did one called Manhunt. And I did, I don't even remember the names of them.
Yeah.
I don't even remember the names of the films.
Oh,
two Black Scorpion films, and then the Black Scorpion series.
Oh, I see. Okay. What part did you play in those?
I played
companion.
No, I played Slugger.
Slugger?
Right, because I wore a baseball cap.
Good guy or bad guy?
Good guy.
Good guy. Oh, okay. And so you made it to the series too. So
oh yeah. I was a detective.
Oh, it's a major character then.
Yeah, I was a cast member.
I'm gonna see if I can find that film somewhere. It probably
Black Scorpion.
Yeah, Black Scorpion. Yeah, I'll do that.
Well, the first one, I was just a day player, but I'd worked with the director before, a guy named Jonathan Winfrey,
Yeah.
and I worked with him on a previous film.
Yeah.
So he let me improvise.
Yeah.
And then in the second film, I was a major character, and then I went on to do the series.
Hey, listen, we've run out of time here.
Is that right?
I'm going to cut you short. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
That's right. And we'll see you next week.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, the acting talents of Mr. Stephen Kravitz.
This is GabNet, the Great American Broadcast Network, now in its 8th year of talk like you've never heard it before.
Yes, there he is, Stephen Kravitz. Always like to talk to Stephen. I hope you enjoy him as well. He's just very conversational, and that's what I like about it. We just have a very nice conversation, and that's what it's all about. Well, there's nobody calling tonight. Nobody. Just Jeff Stein's waiting out there. Not like he's nobody, but he's not a lot of people, you know. Hey, listen, if you don't want to join me tonight, that's fine. I'll just close up early here and go to sleep. You know, we had enough of a good show already with Steve and Stephen, and you know, we'll admit Jeff Stein to this party here, but we really don't know if anybody else will call. Hello, Jeff. How are you this evening? Oh,
I'm good. How you doing?
there he is. He turns mic on, everything. Yeah. How are you doing? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see your whole
I
face.
enjoyed the beautiful day.
Yeah. Move your face towards the center of the. Yeah. It must have been a beautiful day out there, but I wasn't going to go out because I looked at the temperature. And
Yeah, but
you know, when you're in the country like you are, it's nice when it's warm. When it gets hot in New York City, you got the pavement radiating that heat, and it's just brutal.
Yeah.
You know.
yeah. But we have a swimming pool down the street here.
Lucky you. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I think I should find a swimming pool. I think that would be good for my health. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, that's good. It's good. You exercise every bone in your body, but it's not high impact. You know, and that's kind of cool. But
I
anyway,
mean, with the university right up is not too far from you. The university there,
you have Columbia.
Columbia, they must have one.
Well, I don't know, but I don't think I'd probably be allowed to go to it because I'm not a student there.
Well, just
Sneak in.
Who knows?
Sneak in.
Sneak in.
Yeah. But and also, yeah. I think there probably got to be swimming pools around the area. You know, most neighborhoods in New York have had a swimming pool here or there.
Yeah.
So, but you know, I got to do some exercise. I'm tired all the time, and I've decided it's not because of anything terrible or any sickness or illness that I have, but I'm just bored. I'm just so bored. I mean, I don't go out because it's too hot right now to go out. I would prefer some just, hey, get the temperatures down into the 70s and give me no humidity, and I'm out there walking. You know, but I'm bored. I'm just bored. And so much to everybody else who listens to this program because they're not calling tonight. So, you know, who knows?
What is there, a baseball?
No, there's nothing going on.
Who knows?
This show just it's burned itself out, I think. You know, I just think that you know, it doesn't have the same. People don't care about it like they used to, or maybe they take it too much for granted. You know, when I went off for a couple of nights because of one thing or another, the night I came back, tons of people. You know, they take it for granted, and you know. So anyway. But
Well, maybe you want to cut it down to, I don't know,
1 hour,
2 days a week or
15 minutes a night, you know. Well, it seems, you know, if you do short podcasts, they're more popular than long podcasts. Who wants to listen to an hour and a half? You know, it's too much involvement that you have to make. So anyway, let me turn up the air conditioning here. It's brutally hot in New York.
Yeah.
Plus, we also have the dreaded pollen as well, which is it was 10.6 today. So it's 1.4 off of being as high as you can possibly go. I don't know if I've ever seen us hit 12, but we've gotten damn close. I'll tell you that right now. But anyway, let me see here. I was just looking at a couple of things, items which I was going to mention if people were calling, but nobody's calling. And I don't know if I have anything to really say tonight. So maybe we'll just leave it at the interview with Stephen Kravitz. I'm really glad that you called, though. I mean, I can always count on you, Jeff.
Well, I tried. I enjoy it.
Yeah, I know you enjoy it.
And it's a good time.
And I enjoy you too.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Someday I'm going to actually physically see you guys again.
Yeah. We're still in this mode of we don't really want to take the chance because of COVID. People go, oh well, you can go around. People go around without masks and all. There's still COVID out there, folks.
Oh yeah.
You know, and it's up to you to fight it by not encouraging it. You know, so how would you get down here? Would you drive or would you take a train?
I think today you want to drive.
You want to drive, yeah.
Yeah, although it can be a pain.
And then you got to find a parking place in this neighborhood. And then you got to go out and plug the meter every hour or 20 minutes or something. I don't know,
You need a motor scooter.
You need a motor scooter?
Yeah, we could park it inside, right?
That'd be really nice. Yeah.
Take about 3 hours to get them.
We keep saying, Marjorie keeps saying, let's go on vacation. And you go, where? Where? First of all, you got to get on a plane. That's a nice petri dish for disease, okay? Got to get on a plane, and then they're costing like an arm and a leg, okay? And then when you finally get somewhere, if I want to rent a car, do you know how much your car rentals are now? I mean, they're off the wall.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing is cheap anymore. It's like, I'd go to Europe and I'd spend 15 cents and then I'd come home. Now you can't get to the airport for less than like $60 or $70.
We actually have a pretty low-cost airport right here in New Haven, Connecticut. And they probably go to 6 different places.
Yeah.
And
all of which are, of course, in Connecticut.
Well, yeah. But it goes to Florida. And
goes to Florida, yeah.
And Maryland.
But it doesn't go out to California.
Georgia, I think.
It doesn't go to California or places like that.
No.
But you could take the plane to somewhere where you catch a flight that then goes out to California.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Can you believe this? Nobody is calling.
I can't believe it.
Nobody. Zero. Zilch.
Are we on the wrong cell phone or something?
I don't know. I mean, we don't have that many people watching either. Maybe there is something tonight. I don't know. But I'll give him another 5 minutes or so, and then we'll call it quits for tonight. I mean, I don't have to do this,
That's true.
I do it for you.
Yeah, likewise. I mean, I enjoy it. Sometimes, sometimes it's better. I got to tell you, when Phil was very interesting the other day.
Well, how was
I
he?
don't know why, but he was good.
Interesting in what respect?
Yeah, he wasn't that crazy.
Well, I don't know. I didn't see the difference, but if you did, that's good.
Yeah, I don't know why. It was a few minutes.
Oh, look.
He was very curious about
There's Ray. Hello, Ray.
Hey.
There we go.
Hello.
Nice of you to call, Ray. Nobody else is.
Yeah, I was watching, so
Yeah. Well, if this doesn't pick up, say within the next 10, 15 minutes, we'll call it quits.
I'm mushroom.
You're what?
I'm barbecuing portobello mushroom.
Yeah, that sounds
Oh,
good.
really? Can you show them to us?
Yeah, sure.
Let's see the portobello mushrooms. Although you got.
Let's see.
Oh, there you go. Oh, wow.
There you go.
Yeah, that's really nice. I've never cooked portobello mushrooms like that. You know, if I do them, I slice them.
They're good.
Oh, they're really good. It's like eating meat. It's like having a steak.
Yeah. That's why I like them. They're like steaks.
Yeah.
It's a cooking show now.
It's a cooking show, right? Cooking with Ray.
I actually did.
Where is everybody?
today.
Where is everybody? What happened tonight? What did I do? Is there any kind of game or something I'm missing here? You know. Hey, listen, I did have a couple. What? See, you're freezing up on me. I can't believe that he doesn't get good reception. Are you on your Wi-Fi?
I'm sorry. I don't. What's
Are you on your Wi-Fi?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it could be.
Yeah. Wait, let me check.
It could be it's on a dead spot. You know.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, it was when I go to the barbecue out there. It's better now, right?
It's a little better. Anyway, you ready for this? You'll be happy to hear about this. You've all heard about Truth Social, right?
Yeah.
Which is Trump's answer to Facebook or Twitter or whatever.
Oh,
Yeah.
Truth Social is locked in a bitter battle with one of its vendors, claiming the platform is stiffing the company out of more than $1 million in contractually obligated payments. You know something? Why anybody ever does business with Trump is beyond me.
Yep.
Because the guy stiffs everybody. He can't find lawyers now to defend him because the word's gotten out, don't do it because you're never going to get any money out of him.
Sure.
You know, and I guess the only kind of lawyers that want to have anything to do with him are lawyers who have no reputation, no real job, and they, oh, hey, I'm going to work for Trump. And then you find out, you're going out and having to drive an Uber in order to pay for dinner. So it's getting ridiculous. But anyway, well,
I would charge him first.
Huh?
I would charge him first.
You would.
I would say, Trump,
Yeah.
you want to talk? Fine, give me $1,000.
Oh, yeah, but he's not going to do it.
Well, of
That's
course
why
not.
he's having trouble finding a lawyer, because the lawyers won't do it because he's famous for stiffing lawyers, and now he's not only going to stiff them, but he doesn't want to have to sign a contract with them or anything like that. So it's ridiculous. Well, I think I'm going to call this quits for tonight. I thank you both for joining me.
Yeah.
But apparently, apparently people take this too much for granted. But anyway, we'll have to see what happens tomorrow night. But it's just time for me. The only reason I'm going to close off now is that there's not enough people calling to have a good, healthy discussion going about anything. So.
Well, that just in terms of like him stiffing people, what gets me is apparently he stiffed Giuliani.
Yeah.
And Giuliani is still sticking up for him. And wasting his time helping him. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Look who came to my rescue.
There he is.
Hey,
See what happens, folks, when you don't call?
Mm-hmm.
you get Phil.
You get Phil. You see? That's
Hey.
what happens. Yeah.
Well, I like everybody here.
I don't know why nobody's calling tonight.
Well, this is not a nice show.
No,
you
no,
know?
no. Forget it about not being a nice show. It was a nice show till just now. Okay.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
anyway.
We were talking about Trump stiffing people.
Yeah. Well, at least he can still get a stiffy.
Yeah. Yeah. Can he? How do you know? Have you heard?
He stiffs everybody.
Oh, look who finally decided to call.
Whoa.
Alan.
Oh, I
Yeah.
thought he was banned.
Well, now you got a show.
What do you mean he was banned?
Play along. Come
Oh,
on.
oh yeah, I banned him from the show. Didn't you
Yeah.
get the memo?
Yeah.
Alan?
Easy.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. Now here comes Tony. Oh, now the usual suspects are calling. I got to say something here. I always get mail and comments from people who comment on the YouTube about the shows and whatever. And the two most common things I get is, why do you have Phil on? Okay. And
You answered that during your interview on Tuesday.
what was that?
Well, that you like to have the point of view of people on the right. That people on the right don't listen to a left oriented show, and so. And
Well, he was asking me why all these radio stations are right-wing radio stations. And I said, because right-wing programs are more popular than left-wing programs, because liberals will listen to right-wing programs to get irritated.
right. So
Okay.
I'm the irritation here.
But conservatives, or rather Republicans or Trumpites, won't listen to a guy like me because they just don't want to hear another opinion. So
Well,
the fact is that you can get all these people listening to the right wing, and they're both left and right listen to them, but only left wing listen to left wing.
Yeah.
And then look at me, Mr. Left Wing, and look what happened here tonight. Okay, so much for being a good guy.
Yeah, but controversy is good. It's a lot of right wingers don't want to have their opinion challenged, and a lot of left wingers don't want their opinion challenged. So what happens is that if I call into your show, it's a challenge to their opinion.
Yeah,
and
but I get a lot of stuff going. Oh, I just can't stand that, Phil. Why do you have him on? And then I get the same thing.
people.
I get the same thing about Alan.
Yeah.
I never listen to the show when Alan's on it. That's why I only listen to your Monday show.
Yeah, but Alan's a liberal.
It doesn't matter. They don't like him.
No,
Yeah.
a friend of mine, I think.
Yeah, because he's a friend of yours. But the thing is that I to those people who say, get them off, then I'll listen to you. Well, I'm sorry. The trade-off is not a good one. The trade-off is I'm saying, hey, if you want to, please call my show. All right? And then I'm going to tell you can't call my show? Why?
Yeah, that's kind of stupid.
No, it's got to be, what's the word I'm looking for?
Fair
here?
exchange.
If I'm going to say lines are open, call me, I can't then just go, well, I don't want you because you don't have my opinion, right?
Yeah.
Now that's what they would do on a right-wing show. A lot of these right-wing shows will not. Screen out anybody that would disagree with the host. All right.
Really?
Oh
lot of
yeah.
talk shows-
Now.
A
A lot of talk shows do that. They want.
Now they do.
Yeah. No, I've
Remember
noticed-
Hannity and Combs? I loved that
Yeah.
show.
I miss Alan Combs. He used to always beat the shit out of poor Alan.
Yeah, but I mean, the fact is that it bothers me a great deal. That people try to tell me I can't have somebody on because they don't like them. Well, I can't. I disagree with Phil, and there are things about Alan that drive me up a wall. But I'm not going to tell him not to call because of that. And so if you can't respect me for having these people on, then don't listen. I don't need it. Yes.
Tony.
Tony.
when I wasn't going to call the show that Monday, but remember you did tell me not to call, but I take it as a badge of honor, Alex. I don't take it
Well,
as an
no, the
insult.
reason I told you, I tell you not to call is that Marjorie calls the show, and if you call,
Yeah, I know.
she'll hang up.
Yeah, I don't want to get you in hot water. I tell Phil.
Yeah.
I'll call Alex at night. I got him all to myself. I said he's in hot water.
Plus, you don't fit in with those people anyway.
No, I understand. I'm never. I laugh when you
In fact,
say that. Don't
now
call.
that I think about it, you don't fit in with these people either.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know, it's just that the people on Monday
I'm up all
are the
night.
classic of all people thinking the same way.
Well, but it's not politically the same way. I mean, yes, they are pretty much all the same politically, but we don't talk about politics in particular. You know, we talk about a lot of other things, and it's a friendly conversation. You know, so it's different in nature, and so I don't want you there because you might have a tendency to get a little pissy. And,
Yeah, exactly.
And Alan might say, you know, I mean, last night he outed poor Jack Bishop.
Yeah, that was kind of like wow. I thought about that. He really shouldn't have said that.
Shut up, Tony.
You outed him.
No, I didn't know he was here. That was kind of private. Though.
Jack Bishop is gay.
No, it wasn't.
I'm afraid
It was
to get
something
from
that
Boston.
Jack told him in confidence, and that he then repeated here on the show.
Marriott.
Oh, bummer.
Jack didn't say to be quiet about it or anything. I don't know.
Yeah. Let's see.
What is he, a poofta?
No, he's
Say
not.
A
again?
poofta?
Yeah, Jack's gay. That'll get him back
Yeah.
fast.
Yeah, Ray just started a rumor. You know.
He's
Are
really a
you
woman.
coming home tomorrow?
No, I asked a question.
Oh, shit.
No, it's something else.
Well, I don't want to bring it up because I don't want to repeat
Shouldn't have been brought up before.
as it shouldn't have been brought up in the first place. But you know, I mean, that's the risk you take. Now, Brian's here. Where are you, Brian? It looks like you're shacked up with some
Motel
girl
6.
at a Motel 6.
Don't pull the sheets down.
No, where,
Motel with Lodi. Yeah.
no, where are you?
I'm in Lodi this week.
You're in Lodi this week, so you're staying at a hotel?
Yeah, at the beautiful Hampton Inn.
Oh, really?
Nice.
They serve breakfast.
Is that a good hotel?
Yeah, no, it's terrible. And
Okay.
it's our business place, so I think so fuzzy. I don't know why.
Brian, do they need rugs? You should give him Phil's card.
No,
Yeah, I think they need some
Yeah.
rugs for sure.
Yeah, Hampton. You may have known them in the past as Motel 6.
Really? They
So,
didn't say
no,
that?
no.
No,
They left the light on, and that's the problem.
there's Motel 6s around here, and they charge by the hour, so you know what's going on there.
What is that, Ray? Now, what is that?
That's my dog eating my dinner.
Oh, no. I know that you got the dog there, but I mean, what's the food?
Oh, it's my grilled portobello mushroom.
Oh, and you chop them up,
Yeah, well, that's what I was cooking on the barbecue a minute ago.
but then you chop
And
them up.
and that's
It's-
beans. No, those are beans that we made.
Oh, I see. The portobello mushrooms are in the sandwiches.
Yeah.
Oh,
You know, those beans need some hot sauce, Ray.
Hey, I put so much of your hot sauce on my burrito today that I was in pain.
Think about
It's
what
not supposed to
gonna
go on
be-
your burrito. It's supposed to
Think
go
about
in
what
your
it's going to
food.
be like tomorrow.
On my burrito.
You want more? You want more? A different hot sauce, Ray?
No, I still got half a bottle left of that one. I can't take much. It's too hot. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
but I still have it here. Yeah, here we go. I'm gonna put some on. Problem is, I can't taste the blueberries because my mouth's just burning.
Uh-huh.
I mean, it's burning from when you had the sauce earlier today.
Yeah, no, when I use it, this is what Alan gave me.
Ghost
Well,
pepper.
like
ghost
blueberry?
peppers are the worst, aren't they?
One of them, and then there's blueberry in it, but it's so hot that I can't taste anything. Like, if there's blueberry in there, I wouldn't know it.
Well, is there something hotter? Because that only has 5.5 peppers on the front.
Yeah, there's hotter than ghost peppers.
There's a heat index, isn't there, for spicy
Yeah,
foods?
there's hotter ones.
What's it called?
hotter ones.
What's it called?
Scoville.
What's it called?
Scoville
I don't know.
units.
Koval?
Scoville units.
Koval
Yes.
units. Okay.
So there's one that's
that's the
got 3
measurement.
peppers here. It's Crimson Hot Sauce by the same company. That's what I'm sending to everybody right now. I should send
Don't
you.
send me any.
Who it is?
I wouldn't.
I finally don't have acid reflux, and I'm not planning on ever having it again.
It's because you stopped using your aftershave.
Acid reflux will not be caused by hot, spicy foods.
Nope, that's right.
Acid.
If I go out and eat something that's a spicy,
No, but that
spicy-
doesn't cause the acidicness. What does
Making hot pepper.
Alan? You know a little bit about this.
Acid in your stomach does, and
Yeah.
so if you take an acid, that'll calm it down. So, antacids like Zantac and Pepsid are antagonists. They fight against the acid, kind of like an antacid pill. And antacids like Prilosec and stuff like that are what's called a proton pump inhibitor. And in your stomach, you got all these little pumps that are pumping acid, and the proton pump inhibitor, like Prilosec, cuts off about half of them, and that's how you get less acid in your
The
stomach.
worst thing you can have is acid reflux, because if you have it on a regular basis,
you get you can end up with
esophageal cancer.
esophageal cancer. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the reflux in your case, Phil, is that it's your stomach bitching that you voted for Trump.
No. Jesus Christ, you're a broken record. So anyway,
By the way,
Yeah.
latest polls are looking like the Democrats may do okay come November.
yeah, they'll only lose by
No,
30.
Phil. They're saying that we're probably going to get the Senate by at least one senator,
That's a possibility.
and that we're going to keep the Congress exactly, the House of Representatives the way it is right now, and that all of this has changed because of a few factors. Number one, Roe v. Wade. That has caused a great deal of people to get out and make sure they vote. There's a lot of passion out there now.
How did polls work for you in 2016?
Well, no, this poll is, what's his name? Who's that guy that does the polls?
Oh, yeah, I know you're talking about the on Channel 4.
Well, who is it, Tony? If you know who it is.
I know who you're talking about.
It's
He's
a
pretty
number.
good.
Rasputin?
It's like, wait a
No,
minute,
he's on
it's
TV.
like 427 or something.
Oh, that 526 or something.
526, yeah.
Yeah.
Here's,
that's left.
here I did this. You can't see it, but I can show it to the audience. Hold on.
Yeah, that guy is very left leaning.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Democrats slightly favored to win the Senate. No, he's not necessarily left leaning. I mean, I think he predicted Trump winning in 2016. Yes, he did. Rasmussen is like
You call him
the
Rasputin.
the worst. Because
Well, they were the ones that predicted Trump.
No, but so did this guy. I mean, what he does. Well, actually, I think he predicted that she would win the popular vote, which she did. The problem is that what he does. He was a sports betting analyst. He would give you odds on the sports. All right, and then he shifted his focus to politics as well, and he applies the same paradigms to predicting political races that he did to football games. Okay.
Soothsayer.
Yeah, and he's been pretty damn accurate as a result.
I don't know. Polls can be done in several different ways to push them in the direction that you want.
Yeah, well, he doesn't do it. Does he do it using polls? A sample of 100 outcomes that gives you an idea of the range of scenarios. Republicans win 35 in 100, and Democrats win 65 in 100.
Is this 538.com?
538, I
so.
think is. Yeah, I think that is.
Nate Silver.
Huh? Nate Silver.
Silver.
That's his name. And he's
Did you do Beach Blanket Babylon?
no. But he thinks that it's going to
That was
be
Phil Silver.
No, Phil Silver was the Sergeant Bilko.
Now,
that's right.
anything can change between now and then. I mean, let's be honest about that. But
It's still too early.
it's still too early. But it's changing. Okay.
People, the GOP supporters are very up in arms over what they're doing to Trump right now, and I think that's going to bring a lot of people out.
I
as
don't
well.
think so. I don't think so. I think that the trouble with Trump is that I think he's a liability at this point, because I think even the Republicans are just getting tired of it. They're getting tired of him always being the topic of conversation. Tomorrow they wake up with another problem that Trump has, okay? And then he does the same thing. He rails against the people who are going after him, by calling them names or whatever. And they're getting tired of that. They want to change. DeSantis is a good idea for them because he's a breath of fresh air, if you call him that, compared
I like him
to
in the
Trump.
Top Gun ad.
A breath of fresh air.
Yeah. What were you going to say, Alan?
I think the liberals are going to vote liberal, and the conservatives or the Republicans are going to vote for their candidate. The people that these candidates got to win are the moderates, the people that are at
the moderates. The moderates, the people in the middle, are the people you've got to convince these days.
That's what I'm saying.
And by the way, Biden's approval rating, according to Gallup, is up to 44%. So that's changing too.
Well, he just bought off a bunch of people that owe money. What was it, $10,000 or $20,000, and also the Pell loans. So it's not only the the student loans. It's also the Pell grants that.
Well, he may have bought off a lot of people, but he also made a lot of people mad, like you. So
I'm not mad. I just don't feel it's fair.
Well, here's what I think's not
because
fair.
it's benefiting.
I don't think it's enough. I think the government should pay for anybody who wants it to get a college education.
62% of Americans didn't go to college. They're in the trades, and I see nothing wrong with what Mike Rowe is doing by creating scholarships for people that want to get into the trades. But a lot of people are going to college, and they ended up getting degrees like Alan in basket weaving and other.
I'm tired of hearing this. You saw that because you saw that DeSantis made that statement about basket weaving.
No,
he made a comment about basket weaving.
My mother always said, Phil, you can't continue to take basket weaving in college. I said, I'm not just taking basket
I went to college, and I got to tell you,
tennis.
I never saw a single basket weaving.
Well,
if it had been there, believe me, I would have been the first one to take it.
I went to school at Miami. I also took tennis.
I mean, I took bowling.
You went to college?
Yeah, I actually took tennis and interior design.
Charlie has his hand up.
Yeah, I'm sick of hearing about what's not fair, because was it fair that 99% of the people are not millionaires, but the Bush, Bush too, but the Trump tax cuts went 90% went to the rich. So is that fair?
Yeah, and well, how did the rich deserve it? I mean,
that's the same thing that's happening.
All we're saying is that if you educate somebody with a college education, they're going to take that college education in most cases and apply it to doing something which improves this country's net worth.
It'd be nice if they took that college education and paid back the loan they signed for.
Well, now, listen, I don't consider that the amount of money that he's giving. I mean, so you're getting $10,000 towards your.
It's a $500 billion.
Wait a minute, let me finish what I'm saying. So you get $10,000. How much is a college education these days?
Too much.
Charlie, you should know what it costs to go to college today, right?
My kids, it cost each of them over $200,000 to go to college.
There's something wrong with that, because what you're paying for is all of these things, these levels of bureaucracy that are at colleges, and then
Phil,
the money
you're always blaming everything else but the fact that people we shouldn't have to pay for a college education. It should be there for us if we want it.
I went to college. When I went there, it was less than $100 a credit. You know, I think I don't think I paid more than a few $100.
Well, so yeah.
That's
So,
because you were only there for 2 credits.
yeah. Yeah.
No,
Yes, Ray.
12 credits.
Yeah, I went to UC Berkeley, which is one of the best schools in the country, and I think I paid like $150 a quarter.
Yep.
That's what it should
And now it's like 30 grand a year.
be, if you can get in.
Yeah, I can get in. Well, yeah, it was hard to get in when I went too, but
Yeah,
it was almost free.
Mm-hmm. And that's the way a state school should be, because our taxes are paying for that. And for them to, you know, and then you go to these private schools.
And UC actually is a state school, isn't it?
I know. Now
Yeah, but they changed it. It's like they took away a bunch of money, and it's funded by donations and
University
and
of
tuition.
California, Berkeley.
and they're taking all these out-of-state students because they pay more. You know.
Well,
they,
now
yeah.
they pay more, and even in-state pays a lot now. It's
Oh, yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
Well, I went-
It's a shame.
Smart carpet salesman.
I went to UT graduate school in the 70s. It cost $200 a semester. For all
even
4 courses, $200 a semester.
so even if it was
Yeah.
$1,000 a semester.
$20,000. Well, it's $10,000 a semester now. $20,000 a year.
Nothing's wrong with
That's
that.
insane. That's insane.
Yeah, where is the money going? It's going to higher levels of bureaucracy and
Phil,
you know,
Phil. Everything,
going to pay for the tax cuts for free.
everything is more expensive today.
yeah.
For the first time this week, I broke $300 at Costco.
Wow.
You know, and I didn't
What'd you
buy
get?
that much more than I usually buy.
Yep.
You know what happened though? So all the food comes. I ordered a lot of it because I hadn't ordered in about 3 weeks. And the stuff comes, okay? And included in it are 2 big bags of mozzarella sticks, right? And also
String
2
cheese?
big bags of mozzarella,
Wow.
and then a thing of Clorox disinfectant. And I didn't order any of those.
Was it on your bill?
No.
So they made a mistake.
What they did is probably it was supposed to go in somebody else's bag or box, and it went
Yeah.
I came in my box.
They figured
Yep.
one can't live on Geritol forever.
Well,
That's
you'll,
right.
you'll need it if you have all that mozzarella.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, Tony.
I'll plug you.
To get back on the college tuition and all that, here's a question that I was just thinking. Let's say you want to be a doctor. That's like 8 years of schooling, and in 2 years you have to be in the hospital. And I pose this question, like 8 years. Now, if you're going to be a doctor, right, that's going to cost a lot of money. Are you considering that they're going to go for free to be a doctor? Like, who's going to
People
pay
do
the...
now.
If they went in the military,
No, but I'm talking about Charlie. Anybody can. It's for the whole group, really. But you have to really expect these schools to get paid if you're going to go to school to be a doctor for 8 years.
yes,
That's like
but
you.
the
If you
amount-
became an engineer, Charlie, or anybody. That's like me telling you, well, you can only make so much money, Charlie. For your engineering, you can only make 50 grand.
the amount of money.
I mean, they're gonna have to pay something to. I mean, that's just the way it is.
I mean,
You realize in Europe,
costs,
they do
and a
go
good
to
ed-
college for free. Doctors
So,
don't have to pay for
just to clarify the math, Tony.
Wait a
Charlie
minute, hold-
spent
hold-
200. Wait a minute. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, I was going to say is Charlie. What do you mean by you don't have to pay if you're a doctor?
In Europe, doctors do not pay for medical.
okay. All right. Okay. Yeah.
Every European country that they go to school, medical school for free.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So the math here is, you know, that you said $20,000 to be a doctor, Tony.
No.
But
No, I
yeah,
didn't say $20,000.
That's
I
undergraduate.
never said that.
He never
I'm
said.
just giving you, for instance, like what I'm trying to say is it can't all be for free. They have to get paid yet.
and they
Right.
do, and they do.
So then
They
who
do
will
in
say
Europe,
how
too.
much these people make with teaching? They have to earn a living.
It's not the teachers that are being paid a lot of money. It's all the administrators.
Are you
But you
sure?
know what I'm talking
Phil?
about. That's like,
But when state schools were free, they still had to pay the teachers and all that stuff too. So yeah, that can't.
like I'll give you a perfect example. Perfect example. My sister went to be a school teacher, right? She went to a CUNY school, and at the time, a CUNY school was probably, I would say, maybe 25% of a private school like St. John's. So my mother couldn't afford it. And you want to know the truth? She became a teacher for a fraction of the cost because my parents couldn't afford to send her to a school for 20 grand a year. So she went for say 5,000 or 4,000 a year. So that's what you got to do. I mean, and what are you going to do? You got to pay. If you're going to be a teacher, unless the parents have money, they can afford to send this kid to say St. John for $100 grand for 4 years. And if you don't have the money, you're going to go to Hunter College for say 10 grand for 4 years.
Yeah. My daughter.
So there's an option there. But you know what it comes down to? When you go to Harvard and come out with a degree and get a job, you're making more money than the guy who went to another school, and they just don't let anybody in there. I think you're missing the point.
Back the loans.
Well, yeah, but you can't have everything for free. There is options there. You follow what I'm saying? Why pay 100 grand if you can pay 20?
Let me propose something to you that I think we can afford to do this for people. We can afford to support our American public to do things like go to. Let me finish, Phil.
Yeah.
To go to college. To take care of their medical costs, all those things, because that's why you're a society. That's why you're a country. And if a country doesn't care about the people in that country, then why are we even organized? Yes.
See, I agree with you, Alex. There, we should have universal health care. Screw the education.
And you should today, if you want a college education,
they should give you X amount towards it.
I don't say necessarily that all of your bills should be paid going to Harvard.
But they should give you so much.
But if you're going to NYU here in New York, yeah, it should be taken care of. Why not? Why not? You're an American citizen. That's why we're together. And you might call it socialism, but this is a country full of socialism. The police departments are socialism. The fire departments are socialism. Public health departments are socialism. I mean, we have a lot of socialism that we.
You're going to get mad at this, Alex. You're going to get mad at this. I thought my sister was joking to me. She had to go back to college because when she was taking care of the kids because she got married, she stopped teaching.
Yeah.
So what happened is when she went back, she says, I have to go back now to get my graduate's degree. She had to get 2 more years, and they don't even pay for that. So they allowed her to teach again, but she had like 3 years or so, or 5 years window. So they actually, even after you graduate now, you still have to go back and get more, and you got to pay out of your pocket.
Yeah. Ray, you had your hand up. And then Alan.
Yeah, please tell me if I'm wrong, but I think I remember this. And it's kind of like the elephant in the room that nobody wants to talk about. One of the reasons that we as a country have such a hard time accepting these ideas is because on a per capita basis, we spend an incredible amount of money on armaments, our military. It's just ridiculous. Like no other country compares to what we spend, and that's just all. Yeah, that's just like burning the money.
We are the number one country in spending on military, and we are. I believe the second after us is maybe England, and it's only 10%. Wait a minute, it's 10% of their national income. Their in money that's coming in. Ours is 53%.
Yeah.
I mean,
see, that's
more
the problem.
Than 50% of every one of your tax dollars is going to the military, and we don't need to do that and still be safe.
That's the problem right there.
Wait a minute. Alan had his hand up next.
So I find it interesting, Phil, that you're complaining about this little bit of money that students are getting back. When Trump was in office, he gave all these business owners $50,000 that they
That's
never
because they closed down the economy and they made you shut down.
But it's not the government's.
Alan, you're making a specious argument. I'm telling you, you think it's a small amount of money? It's $500 billion. That's what this is going to cost. $500 billion.
And how much did the PPP cost? It cost
one thing has nothing to do with the other. They shut down the economy. They put people out of work. We were paying,
it wasn't the government's fault.
People to be at home when
Phil, it's only money we simply printed up. That's all.
right.
That's the
Period.
problem. We have inflation right now that is so
It has nothing to do with the national debt.
It has to do with printing money.
No,
that
it
has
doesn't.
No basis.
It doesn't have to
Well,
do with
when the
printing money.
dollar
Who
is
told
no
you that?
longer-
Who told you that, Phil?
There's plenty of economists that.
What name one?
Dr. Larry Lindsay.
Who's Dr. Larry Lindsay? Your
He was Bush's-
your orthopedic
he's a-
surgeon? Who is that?
No. Okay.
He's
He's a Harvard. He's a Harvard economist that happened to be a friend of mine that I grew up with in high school. He
On
was
TikTok.
also, he was a governor of the what was the board?
TikTok board. The
No,
TikTok board.
No, the thing.
Well,
that
he was
Powell
until you
head
swiped up.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and then on top of that, he was Bush's senior economic advisor, and he was Reagan's junior economic advisor, and he was one of the members of the board of governors of the. I just drew a blank.
Wait a minute.
What's the governing board that raises and lowers?
Jeff, did you have your hand up?
Huh?
Yeah.
Jeff knows.
So
That raises and lowers the
Jeff
interest
had
rates.
his hand up.
Is this going to be on the test next week?
hold on.
Yeah.
So one of the things that I was able to get was when I was already graduated in my degree, okay? But then I was working on these master's programs, and I got most of my companies that I worked for
They pay for it?
pay for half.
That's good.
Yeah,
Jeff, did you go to Stevens College for engineering or no? I know.
no.
No, he had money.
No, Stevens is a good school.
Well, anyway, I mean, yes.
Most of the guys
Charlie's got his hand up. Charlie.
U.S. Spends more on defense than the next 10 countries combined. That includes Russia, China, England, Japan, France. The next 10 countries combined spend less than the U.S. spends.
Do you feel safer?
I don't know.
Do you feel safer
We're
because we're
sending weapons
spending all
over
that
to
money?
Ukraine.
We are ridiculous when it comes to spending military money.
I feel safer when Trump doesn't have the football.
Yeah.
Yeah. As opposed to Biden, who goes, "Where'd I leave that football?"
Right.
Jill
I know
Biden
it's here
has to
somewhere.
COVID.
Hey, you know what Trump did? He
What?
converted the football into a golf bag.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's golfing a lot. That's right.
Yeah.
cute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He accidentally buried it with Ivana.
Well, this
I
way
think
the
they named
feds
Obama.
couldn't take it and try to subpoena it.
I still wonder what's in that grave.
Imagine
Probably
he's not dead,
classified
Charlie.
documents.
Yeah.
It's Grant. Grant's in that grave because he's
Remember
not.
that question? Who's buried in Grant's tomb?
Probably all the remaining boxes. They
Yvonne
couldn't,
Trump.
probably all the remaining boxes they couldn't find at Mar-a-Lago.
Yeah, exactly.
By the way, tomorrow they're going to release the redacted version of the what do you call it?
The affidavit.
The
Affidavit.
which is going to look something like this.
Black.
That's a page out of Trump's book, blank.
Yeah,
It is.
yeah.
Alex is gonna have all holes in it. It's like, where are we reading this?
Yeah, well, I mean, I think Trump wants it released, the whole thing released, unredacted, so we can find out who the snitch is in his.
Yeah.
I got the thing. It's
You got it?
administration accomplishments.
Yeah, I'm actually reading it. He did a lot, Phil.
That's
Oh,
classified,
Jesus
Phil,
Christ.
I know, but I got friends in high places.
and low places.
This is, by the way, that list of accomplishments is simply a list made by Trump.
Well, I mean, it was a list that lists everything he had done in the administration for all of those years, and either they're true or they're not. Whether his White House made it or somebody else did. Did those things happen?
I don't think
or
he
didn't
did
they?
much of anything himself. I think he was maybe
don't
the
know.
He
laziest
took
president.
credit for a lot of things he didn't do.
I know he certainly didn't take any advice from Biden, but you know.
I wonder why.
Oh, yeah.
Alan,
Yeah.
just let it die after his bad joke. Just let it go silent.
Yeah, just let it
silent.
just let it die. Yeah.
You know what it is, Alex? He's entertaining. I'm a film groupie now, I think.
Don't start.
Yeah, let's not
Wow.
go down
Not
that
gonna
road.
Saying stuff like that is like what Alan said about Jack. So you just don't go there.
Is Jack getting released tomorrow? Then I guess he is.
Jack's
Yeah,
getting
yeah,
released
that's
tomorrow.
right.
Well, that's because they kept him there until his insurance ran out.
Are they going to put an ankle monitor on him?
I don't know.
Oh no!
But no, but that's the thing that bothers me. You know, I mean, all medicine bothers me.
It's a shame they're gonna kick him out if he's not.
Because
ready.
all of it is based upon trying to save your own ass, and in the case of Jack, it's that they don't want to keep him there a day more than his insurance will take. You know,
Right.
and
Why is he there for the free Jell-O?
I think so. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I like.
Like I was looking at a lot of paperwork today on my thing to the emergency room, and I'm trying to figure out why this woman sent me to that the Mount Sinai, the hematology lab. It said she was sending me there and referring me to them because she sent all the information over to them because she thinks maybe I might need a biopsy, right? And then they looked at it and went, "You don't have cancer. Go home. You know, don't even bother us." But I sat there and I read this thing and I'm thinking, the only reason she referred me to these people and said I probably need a biopsy and you know whatever is they just want to save their ass in case they get sued. You know, so she
Hopefully
wasn't going to
that's
take
it.
any chances. So instead, she puts me in panic mode. You know,
Did
and
you-
and that's what's happening with Jack. They're keeping him at this hospital longer than he has to be there. They could send him home and then send a nurse out every day to take care of him. You know, he doesn't have to be in the hospital. Yes, Jack.
Jeff has his hand up.
We know a surgeon who does orthopedic surgery, and the first thing he does is says, "We're going to have the surgery tomorrow, so you'll show up there, and the next day we're sending you home."
Right.
I says, "Why?" He says, "Because there's too many infections in the hospitals."
Yeah.
Well, there's another reason. The
COVID.
minute you get home, there's a certain curative factor to being in your
Yeah,
own
I
surroundings.
agree.
My friend Will Durst has been in a hospital bed now in a nursing home.
Over a year.
No,
2
over a
years.
year. Try almost 3 years.
3 years. Yeah.
Okay, and I told him a long time ago, they should spring you. They should send you home, and if they have to deal with you and deal with stuff, they can come out and see you.
I thought
You know?
Debbie said that there was a reason that they couldn't get insurance coverage if they brought him home.
I don't know. I didn't see that.
I haven't
Oh.
heard that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I miss the days of the dentist barber.
Yeah. Oh, leeches.
I mean, the
Leeches.
barber surgeon. The
Barber surgeon, yeah.
Yeah.
What about leeches? You know, the
Well,
We
phlebotomy.
have one. He's trying to become president again.
Nobody's proven to me that doesn't work. You know.
So Jeff was
Hey.
honest.
By the way,
I had back surgery in 2013. I had the surgery at 7 o'clock in the morning, and they sent me home at 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
right, get you
I did
home.
not spend one night in the hospital. I had back surgery. I had a disc removed from my back.
Well, you got to
Did
remember.
they give you leeches to help?
you got to remember.
Leeches.
Jack is in the best facility in Denton, Texas.
What's that? The Howard Johnsons?
Yeah, basically.
No, it's lower than
It
that.
used to be a Motel
I got
6.
friends in low places.
Hampton Inn. The Hampton
The
Inn.
Hampton Inn. Yeah, it's a
Hampton
Hampton Inn. You know, but I mean, I just think that you know,
What's moving on your
Oh,
ceiling there?
Brian, do you
Yeah.
have a black light?
No.
All the times you stay in a hotel, you don't shine it on the sheets.
I wouldn't even want to know.
he won't
No,
even
but-
shine it on the sheets in his home. Okay, so,
I'm sure they're clean in his home.
What does that do? You get to see the dirt?
No, it shows you all the protein. So what happens is, if there's cum on the sheets, you
Yeah.
it shows
Jesus.
up.
Either that for nourishment, you can suck on the linen.
Yeah. Well, anyway,
Probably all over the curtains.
Yeah, well, if you shine it at some of these things, you'd be surprised. There was these guys that go in with hidden cameras, and they go in and they mark the sheets with and pillows with certain things, and then they rent the same room the next day under another name, and they go in there, and when they shine the light, it shows. These were not sheets were not changed or something like that.
God.
Yeah, it's awful. Now I use a black light when I go into people's homes and I say, well, are you having any issues with pet stains? Oh, Fluffy doesn't pee on the carpet. Okay, and I shine the light, and Fluffy is yellow everywhere you look. And God, this is terrible. My children can't crawl on this carpet. We got to buy new.
This is why Phil has no friends.
This is
that light.
Phil recommended. It works.
That's the light I have.
Yep, it works. It's great.
You remember though years ago during the psychedelic times when you bought posters that glowed in the dark under black lights?
Oh, I love
So why are we so bothered our sheets do the same thing?
Because it's not LSD on the poster.
No, it's not the same thing glowing.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, Tony.
I remember when we lived downstairs, my mother had the shaggy rugs, Alex, and I never forget when one of my jobs, when the guy put the rugs in, he gave us a rake. So my mother used to make me rake it.
Yeah.
So did you have a rake? I remember as a kid raking.
Yes.
You had like a thing.
Yeah.
Tony,
And I had like a thing that would put the dirt.
My grandparents had shag carpet in their mobile home,
fine.
and we had a rake.
I remember as a kid, I got to find a picture of that.
Tony, you know why? That was just to keep you occupied.
That was my job, and then I used to go around and then cleaning it with like this.
Yeah, keep them out of the room. Send them out with the rake.
My parents had the orange shag installed in the house. It was
Oh
a big
yeah,
deal.
we had that as a kid.
When I learned how to install carpet, it was on that stuff. The orange, the hunter green, the avocado green.
I actually
the green and the orange.
Yeah, and the orange, yeah.
So disgusting.
Yeah. Have another.
Even
mushroom.
Alan could install that.
Yeah. Well. Anyway,
Mushrooms.
So I just think that probably you should be giving people more money for their college education. I think that it's an investment that we make in our future.
Mike Rowe says a lot of people that are told that they need to go to college
Rowe.
really don't need to go to
Mike
college.
Rowe. What does Mike Rowe know? He doesn't
a lot
know
more than all of us.
No, he doesn't know any more than I do. He's a goddamn television personality, and he makes money.
A good one.
A good one. He's okay. Yeah. He's okay.
Like Dr. Oz.
It'd be great if he won more.
He does a lot of good.
What is he?
He's doing a lot of good for working people. He was a keynote speaker at one of our conventions.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
sure. I respect anybody.
Alex.
Anybody who would allow himself to get paid by rug people to give a speech.
Well, at least the carpet matched the drapes.
Yeah, I guess.
This guy's like right up there with Mike Lindell, right?
Yeah, he's right up there with Mike Lindell now.
The pillow guy.
Lindell at one of your
Mike Rowe's just another cheap TV personality who found his gig and he plays it to the hilt. Anyway,
but people don't know that.
No, we had Rudy Giuliani twice.
Oh God, I'm
sorry.
Well,
that makes my case. Okay. Anyway, thank you so much, Jeff. Appreciate you being here for a while when nobody else was, and Ray for showing up out of pity, and then
you were there.
Phil coming to the rescue as well, and then finally we got Alan, and we got Tony, and we got Brian, and we got Charlie. So anyway. Turned out to be a pretty good show.
You're welcome.
But no one's getting paid because you were all late.
Oh no, Alan's got to pay Alex, otherwise
all my money.
He's gone.
Anyway, everybody give a big wave goodbye, and I'll give a big wave goodbye at you. Okay, there they go. Let me turn my camera on. There we go. Okay, that's them. We'll be back again tomorrow night. We do it at 10:30. Oh, and by the way, tomorrow night, Josh will be doing Jack's show for an hour after this one. So that's a big night tomorrow night. It starts at 10:30. Same time, same station in life. In the meantime, as always, if you see her, tell her I love her, okay? Night, everybody.